Hello everyone, it's Glenda and welcome back to my channel, Creative Grandma. This video is a yarn alert. Yarn alert. Premier Yarns has done it again. They just released a brand new yarn that's available today. So it's called the Premier Fable yarn. It's soft, it's squishy. Let me tell you a little bit about the yarn, and then I made a project with the yarn and I'll show you what I made. It's called the Premier Fable. It comes in a 131 yard skein, 120 meters, 7 ounces, 200 grams. It's 90% acrylic and it's 10% polyester. It's classified as a super bulky number 6. It's machine washable, cold, tumble dry low. And that is really important when you're using these big, thicker yarns. It's so soft. I really enjoyed working with this yarn and I can't wait to show you my project. So this yarn, it is saying on the label to buy enough of the same dye lot to complete your project. Now I'm going to try to get the yarn up here. I'm not really good with lighting, so hopefully you can see this. So here is the yarn. Hopefully you can see it. It's a roving style and then it has a thread through it. Get it up there close. Now what I like is on the label, Premier has a sample so you can see how those colors transition when you're working it up. So let me tell you the color. This is color 214202 Mermaid. Now the color I have here with the pinks, the light blue, it has 2 different color pinks, light and a little bit darker, and then it has a really light blue with a darker blue, and then it does have white. On the label, you're going to see how those colors work up. Now this is a knit sample, but I like that they do this so you can see how those colors play out. Very nice. And on the website, they also have a knit sample and a crochet sample swatches right on the Fable webpage where you can see what they look like worked up. Now remember, it's only an indication of the color sequence. If you change your stitches, it may look a little bit different. So keep that in mind when you're looking at those samples. But very nice that they do this. So I have one more color to show you, but I have to apologize because this is the second time I'm filming this video. Premier emailed me. They told me they were sending me a sampler box and they sent me 5 beautiful skeins of yarn. And I filmed this beginning. I showed all 5 beautiful skeins. I was so excited. I'm still excited about this yarn. And then when I turned my camera off and then I made the project, started filming again, I went to edit and the first 2 videos I done were missing. And I thought I already used the yarn. So I was really upset about that. But I will show you all 10 colors on the website and I'll show you those sample swatches. Very beautiful colorways they come out with. The next color I have here is color Nessie. It's Nessie. It's color 2142-09. It's blues. It looks to me like it's white. It could be a very, very light blue. It almost looks like there's 3 different color blues mixed with a little white, but you can determine that. Here is the yarn. And this is Nessie, and when you look on the label, it's going to show you how those colors play out when you're working it up. Now the cost of the Fable yarn is $8.99, and what I consider this yarn to be in my project is I use this yarn as an accent color, and I can't wait to show you my project, and then you'll see the reasoning behind what I did. But it's a beautiful yarn if you want to make something smaller, thick and quick, like a pillow, a hat, a scarf, something manageable with just several skeins. But if you want to make a larger project, then my opinion is to match it up with the Premier Basic Super Bulky, and that's what I did for my project. I used the Super Bulky Premier Basic for the majority of my project, and I accented it with the Fable yarn. And you'll see when I show that to you. So I'm now on Premier's website, and again, I'll put a link directly to the Fable yarn in the description box underneath the video. So when you get on, I'm going to show you all 10 colors. The first color here is Sprite. It's color 2142-01. So that's what the skein of yarn looks like. So this is the crocheted sample. and this is the knit sample. So the next color is Mermaid. It's color 2142-02. That's the one I showed you in the beginning of the video. This is the crocheted sample, and this is the knit sample. The next sample is Fairy, color 2142-03. This is what the skein of yarn looks like. This is the crocheted sample, and this is the knit sample. The next color is Pegasus. It's color 2142-04. That's what the yarn looks like. This is the crocheted sample, and this is the knit sample. The next color is Elf, color 2142-05. This is the crocheted sample. This is the knit sample. The next color is Unicorn, color 2142-06. This is the crocheted sample, and this is the knit sample. The next color is Pixie, color 2142-07. This is the crocheted sample, and this is the knit sample. Now the next color is Dragon, color 2142-08, and this is one of the colors that I used in my project, so I can't wait to show you that project. But let's take a look at the samples. This is the crocheted sample. This is the knit sample. The next color is Nessie. That's one that I showed you in the video. It's color 2142-09. This is the crocheted sample. This is the knit sample. And the last colorway is also a color that I used in my project. This is the color Gnome, color 2142-10. This is the crocheted sample, and this is the knit sample. So I'm just going to click on compare colors. I'm going to click on this just to show you how to use this. And then I'm going to go to yarn. I'm going to go down to number 6, super bulky. I'm going to click on super bulky. And then I'm going to scroll down to the Premier Basic super bulky right here. If you click on that, and then when I look at these colors, I'm going to see what color I think might go good with that. So right away, I'm going to look for red. Here's a cherry red. Here's a raspberry. So I think the cherry red is going to look the best. I'm going to hit compare color up here on the top of the screen. And then down here, it's going to say Premier Palette, and then click on that. And it's going to show you the two yarns side by side. So you can see here's the red and here's the red in the multicolor. And you can do that with other colors and get an idea if you think these colors will match up pretty good. So now let me show you the project I made and how I incorporated this yarn into my design. So it's been 2 days. I know you didn't even know I was gone. When I shut off my camera, I thought, now what can I make with this yarn? And I am an Afghan maker. I love to make Afghans. And the super bulky yarn is no exception. So let me show you the Afghan I was working on. Now, I will not be having a crochet tutorial for this blanket because I used the yarn they sent me, and that's the downfall of when I get a sampler box. If you're trying to make a project before the yarn is even released, it's hard to do a project, especially if you run out of yarn or you don't have enough yarn to finish your project. So this little blanket here, it's not so little, it's a nice size. But if you look here, let me find the green little flower. I wanted to make them look like flowers, but I didn't have yellow yarn. I was going to put a yellow center and really make them look like a little flower. But because I didn't order quite the right colors, because I wasn't sure what Fable yarn they were sending me, I just ordered those colors of the white, blue, and pink. So anyhow, when you look at this square, when I first started, I started right where the yarn come out of the skein. And every time I made one of these circles, I had just one popcorn stitch that had a different color. Well, I didn't like that. So what I did was I cut the yarn right where the color changed. And then look at how this come out. It was just enough color. Now these are 3 double crochet popcorns, and it was enough yarn in each color sequence to give me a flower. or a circle or whatever you want to call it. I just wanted to really set off this Fable yarn by putting white in between the colors. So again, you can see how that works up. And then what I did was I used the leftover, after I made all my flower centers and my blocks with the white, I used the leftover yarn to accent the blanket with the border. So all the colors in the center can be accented by putting a border. And I'm just going to show you up here where you can see 4 of those colors. Now it is a long color burst, so you can see it is nice and long for those self-striping projects. So if you're someone who really likes those really heavy weighted blankets, you can make one. The only downside with this yarn is the price and the yardage. When you start getting into those really thick, super bulky yarns, they tend to get expensive because they're so thick, and you're going to get a lot less yardage. And that's the way with most yarns. The thicker the yarn, the less yardage. The thinner the yarn, the more yardage. So keep that in mind when you're trying to plan a project, but I thought it come out beautiful. What I loved about the yarn was it was just the perfect length for my little round flowers. And then when you accent it with the white, it just makes those colors pop. And then use the leftover yarn that you have as an accent border around your project. So I was just very happy with my project. I just thought it came out really pretty. Let me get it up there so you can see it. Isn't that pretty? And I did keep the first couple that I made with the one oddball popcorn stitch because I didn't want to waste the yarn. But then you can see how I made all the other ones in a solid color. Perfect length, perfect everything about this project. So overall, I was very happy with my project. I was very happy with the yarn. Now, in my personal opinion, based on the yardage and the price, I think this is an excellent yarn for maybe smaller projects, hats, maybe even a scarf, something affordable. But I think if you want to make a larger project like I did with my Afghan here, then I really think you should pair it up with the Premier Basic Super Bulky, because the cost is $4.99 on this yarn. And when you pair the two together, it really gets the cost down on a larger project like the blanket. So let me grab my blanket one more time. Now this blanket is, I think it's roughly about 34, maybe 36 inches across by about 45 inches long. So it's more like a lap throw. Now this throw here took 6 skeins of the Premier Basic Super Bulky, and it took 3 skeins of the Fable. So it is possible to make an affordable, larger project by mixing it with that super bulky of the Premier Basic. So again, I want to apologize. There will not be a crochet tutorial for the blanket I just showed you, but I hope it inspired you to maybe try a new yarn, or inspire you of ways to be creative, to think of ways that you can use this yarn in your project. I think it would be beautiful, again, mixed with the Premier solids in the Basic Super Bulky. Maybe make a basket and trim it with the Fable. It just makes it more affordable for the projects. So tell me what you think of the new Fable yarn that I showed you today by Premier. It's just being released today. And I'll put a special link in the description box underneath the video. You can click that link and you can go directly to Premier, and you can see all 10 of those colors up close. And make sure you use that compare button and compare it to match it with the solid colors of the Premier Super Bulky. You are going to have so much fun working on projects because this yarn works up so quickly. So let me know in the comments section, what was your favorite colorway? And I do want to let everyone know these are affiliate links. I am an affiliate of Premier. I love their yarns. I use them a lot in my designs, and it just helps my channel. It helps support my channel. For every dollar you purchase in yarn gives me a few cents in affiliate money, and then I use that money to purchase more yarn in order to keep my channel up and running and bringing you more projects. It doesn't cost you anything to use the links. Now I'll also put that referral link in, so if it's the first time that you're ordering from Premier, you can save 10%. Click that link, wait for the pop-up, and you can claim 10% off your first order. So thank you everybody for stopping by today. I appreciate each and every one of you. And until next time, stay inspired and happy crocheting. Bye everyone.